Good afternoon from Jerez in Spain for the fourth round of the 500cc World Championship.
3 different winners so far this season. And going into this round at this fabulous track in the south of Spain in Andalusia at Jerez, it's Mick Doohan, the reigning world champion, who starts from pole position with 2 of his teammates alongside, including the Spaniard Alex Criville. There's Alberto Puig. He starts from the 3rd row of the grid in 9th position. Popular rider around these parts though, of course, and it's great to see him back in action, of course, after injuries last year.
Yeah, the big crash at Le Mans in France for Alberto Puig. Massive crowd, glorious sunshine, 27 laps of this classic Grand Prix motorcycle racing circuit.
There you can see Cadalora just going through on the inside of Doohan, but it's packed to the rafters here, as it is every single year. They love their motorbikes in this part of the world. Packing the hillsides around this famous track.
And as Gavin said, 3 separate winners in the opening 3 races.
Yeah,
so
it's all to play for, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's going to make it a very, very interesting championship. There's no doubt about who these fans are cheering for. Any Spanish rider riding any motorcycle will do. Yeah,
definitely. Criville, who starts from second position on the grid, and of course Puig, as we said, down in 9th position on that 3rd row, but they take any of it. Now, Mick Doohan's not too unpopular here either, but as he heads up the Repso Honda charge, that Spanish-based team, that's why I don't mind him too much, but Criville's their man, of course.
Here they come onto the start and finish line, the open grandstand away to their right, the pits to the left, the famous bridge over the circuit. It's 27 laps of the Jerez circuit. It's the Spanish Grand Prix. It's the 4th round of the 500cc World Championship. Will one of the riders make it 2 wins this season, or will we get yet another new Grand Prix winner in 1996? We're about to find out.
So, front row of the grid for you: Doohan, Criville, Okada and Dariano Romboni on board the Aprilia. Row 2, Beatty, Cadalora, Bale and Capirossi. And then row 3, Puig, Roberts Jr., Ito and Barros.
So the lights will go to red and the race will be underway. Round 4 of the championship, 3 separate winners so far. Is there going to be a new man this time round?
And away they go at the front. A very good start from Doohan from the front row, but on his inside it's Alex Criville who is going to lead. Surely no, Cadalora comes through. So Cadalora from Criville, Doohan in 3rd, and the fans loving that already.
Great move by Cadalora. Criville takes over at the front though as they go into turn 2, down the hill, around this fast right, then left.
And Alex Barros had a great start from the 3rd row of the grid, and he's past Doohan and into 3rd.
Round the left, little short straight, then onto the back straight itself. Everybody's safely through so far. Alex Criville, to the delight of the crowd, leads the way.
That's Criville, then Cadalora, then it's Barros just around the outside. Is that Romboni coming around the outside? Then of Mick Doohan into 5th as they go through the Cito Pons corner and down the back straight.
Down that back straight for the first time. Favourite overtaking manoeuvre at the end here. Here comes Cadalora up the inside of Alex Criville, taking the lead.
Romboni ran it wide. He was trying to go through on Barros as well, but he ran it very, very deep into the corner and just misses out. Alberto Puig, number 17, as well, running a little bit deep down at the dry sack corner.
Approaching now the stadium section, packed away to the left of the riders. They're not quite there yet. Here they come round the left, and now it's going to be this double apex right at the end here. Listen to the air horns. It's not a Spaniard leading the way, it's an Italian, but Alex Criville in 2nd place, closing up on Cadalora as they go round the right.
Nieto and Pelucchi corners, and they come out of there just fine. It's into Ferrari as well. Very, very fast through here. See the Formula 1 cars, when they've been here, they go through the chicane, but it's flat out 5th gear for these guys. Then hard on the brakes for the final corner on the circuit. The Ducado's left-hander, the hairpin, and well, it's very, very tight going into there. Couldn't quite see Mick Doohan going through, but there he is in 4th position. It's Cadalora who leads across the line after the first lap.
Yeah, Cadalora leads the way through. Criville comes Mick Doohan up at turn 1, trying to go through, not able to do so. Daryl Beatty in 5th place, Dariano Romboni in 6th, but still Cadalora leads the way. Criville all over his rear wheel. Good start by Alex Barros. Beatty giving Mick Doohan a tough time.
Yeah, it's good to see Beatty back fighting for these top positions yet again. But at the moment, it's still Cadalora leading the way. On the inside, Criville just has to think about it, doesn't he?
He thought about that, didn't he? Definitely thought about it.
Going up towards the Cito Pons corner, as it's been named, down the back straight and down towards the dry sack. This tight right-hander can really catch you out in here. Oh, look at that, right round the outside. Beatty, well, he's run it off track. Just took the outside line, and Doohan has just eased Beatty. Not that they've touched, just there's no way for Beatty to go. And he's run it off into the gravel, and we've got a crash. That's Arbe. Arbe down.
Noric Arbe down, Daryl Beatty out of contention. Dramatic second lap here at Jerez. Hope Arbe's okay.
Yeah, he was down in the gravel, and the bike stricken in the middle of the track. And it doesn't look too clever, does it, for Arbe, taking a knock in the chest. And it was again this right-hander. There you can see Beatty going straight across.
He did well to hang on to it, actually, Daryl Beatty, because it's not slow through there.
Oh, no, look, it was Arbe in the middle of the corner. Big high side from him. Just trying to get on the throttle a little bit too early. So into the Cardos corners. Arbe hobbles away, and it's still Cadalora leading from Alex Criville in second place. Dramatic opening couple of laps here. Doohan is now into third and past Alex Barros, who's in fourth, and then in fifth it's Ricardo Jean-Michel Bale, just in behind, then Carlos Checa.
Crowd urging on Alex Criville in second place. Alex Barros, Barcelona resident, although he's a Brazilian, in fourth place. So plenty of local interest. Good ride by the former motocross star Jean-Michel Bale. But Abe out and Beatty out of contention after both having problems at the dry sack corner.
There's the crash for Beatty as well. Just can't quite see that, who's running off into the
somebody else
gravel
running
as
off,
well.
isn't there, into the gravel? That's the crash of Abe.
Is it Romboni?
Could well be.
We've lost Romboni.
And we have a new leader at the front. Alex Criville now leads the way, but Cadalora's going to take it back. A dry sack on the brakes. He's done it.
Incredible opening 3 laps these. Cadalora reclaims it down at the bottom. Meanwhile, Mick Doohan just watching, isn't he? The reigning world champion, just watching this battle going on at the front. The fans will be wanting Criville to do the business, but I'm sure they won't mind too much seeing Cadalora at the front, because that just makes it that little bit more exciting.
Criville up alongside once again. They're going to line it up now for the right-hander, not able to get through. Mick Doohan looking very comfortable and happy in third place. Once again, that massive crowd away to his left, urging on Alex Criville, former 125cc world champion, a Spaniard in action here at Jerez. Crowd of well over 100,000 just pushing him on all the time. Ran the very fast right up towards the final left-hander. The tight first gear corner. Here comes Criville up the inside of Cadalora's as he got through. We wait to see.
I think he has. It looked like he was going to make it on exit, and he does. He finishes off the corner perfectly. So Criville now leads across the line with Cadalora in second, Doohan in third. Look at the speed they come down this straight. And there's another crasher. Who's that? It's Daryl Beatty. So Beatty, and he got back on the bike, and he's had another crash, and down goes Beatty, and I think that's the fast right, isn't it?
It looks like a nasty place to crash. I think it is the fast right. Daryl Beatty problems earlier on at dry sack, and even bigger problems here. Mick Doohan now trying to get past Luca Cadalora, decided that perhaps it's time to make a move.
Here he comes now, Mick Doohan, number one, through on the inside of Cadalora. Cadalora just close it up as they head up towards the Cito Pons corner. It just goes up towards the rise, and then it's downhill on the back straight. And
Beatty's bike on fire now.
They need to get the extinguishers on that one quickly.
Doohan beautifully placed as they come down the back straight. Can he get up the inside of Luca Cadalora? He can't.
Cadalora's very strong in there, I have to say. And Okada is it who's taken over from Barros now.
But it's still Alex Criville leads the way from Luca Cadalora. In third place, the current world champion Mick Doohan. Daryl Beatty out of the race. Noric Arbe out of the race. As Gavin said, it's been a dramatic opening 4 laps.
So it's Criville leading. Listen to the crowd as they go through Angel Nieto corner into Peluquí. And listen to the crowd all on their feet.
Yellow flags out.
This is where Beatty's bike is, just on the outside of the track. You can see the extinguishers going on there, and it's into the fast right now for Ferrari corner.
So the second of the fast rights, this is Ferrari at the back of the pits. And then that little short straight, then on the brakes, Doohan beautifully placed. Cadalora very, very defensive into the first gear left-hander that brings it back into the start and finish straight. No way through for Mick Doohan. 4
Hondas at the front. 3 of them the factory bikes, and then Luca Cadalora on board that Kanemoto Honda. Still, Criville leads the way, and how the fans are enjoying this one. They will love it if he were to win. He'd be the 4th different winner of the season, and it'd be a great start to the year as everyone guns for Michael Doohan's crown.
Certainly do. There's Alex Barros. Jean-Michel Bale having a very good ride indeed, but still Criville leads the way. And still Cadalora fights off the challenge of Mick Doohan, and Okada has closed right up on the rear wheel now of Doohan. Now this is where they like to overtake. Is Mick Doohan close enough this time round on Cadalora as they break for the dry sack corner? There's Criville. No, he's not.
Alex Barros had a great start to the year, of course. 2 second places in the opening 2 rounds. Suffered misfortune in Japan, but he's up there once again. Very good start to his season with that Repso Honda team.
Mick Doohan now knows he's got to get past Luca Cadalora. Here's Alex Barros. The crowd are urging on Alex Criville at the front. Doohan wants to set after him, although we're only, 5.5 laps into the race. A little puff of dust there, I think probably from Okada. Could have been from Mick Doohan. So they run it very wide round the very fast right-hander. Through the Ferrari corner, up towards this final first gear left that brings it back into the start and finish. Tell you what, Okada's giving Mick Doohan a bit of a tough time now.
Just to remind you as well, no Scott Russell here this weekend. He's had a great start to the year, but injured in practice. And although he had qualified for the race, he's not taking part today. So that's obviously big news for Suzuki, with Beatty out of the race as well. Let's have a look further down the other. There's Barros and there's Bale. Kenny Roberts Jr., then Carlos Checa as well coming through. Alberto Puig as well. This is a tight 4 at the front, and it's number 4 who leads this group. Alex Criville, much to the fans' pleasure, over Sito Pons corner and now into the back straight.
Yeah, fastest part of the circuit. 185, 190 miles an hour for these 500cc 2 strokes, and then brake hard for dry sack. The second gear right-hander. Nobody close enough to the man in front to actually get up the inside on the brakes and trying to reverse the positions. And it's round the left and then into this fabulous part of the Jerez circuit. Second left and this double apex right with the crowds packed to the hillside away to the left here. Angel Nieto corner, named after, of course, the 13 times world champion. Listen to that crowd cheering on their man at the front.
They're loving this one for the time being, and so they should. It's a really, really good start to the race for Alex Criville, with Cadalora in second place, just in behind. And he takes a big look, doesn't he, coming out of the Cardos corner. But at the moment, he's just opening up a gap, isn't he, over the Italian. And I wonder if Doohan will start thinking soon, right, I need to make my move. Behind, Roberts Jr. just putting some pressure on board, Jean-Michel Bale. Both, of course, riding for the Marlboro Roberts team.
That's the first 4. Criville doing a very good job at the front. Cadalora, Doohan, Okada getting onto the back straight. Doohan a little bit closer this time round. He may be close enough. Cadalora, though, very, very difficult to overtake on the brakes. Let's have a look. No. Comes back into formation. And a great battle now between Alex Barros, Jean-Michel Bale, Kenny Roberts, and that Loris Capirossi as well.
Yeah, Roberts is through, and Puig has also got through on Carlos Checa. Alberto Puig now making progress. Didn't have a great start, had a bit of a moment on dry sack on the first lap, but he's starting to reel back in.
Mick Doohan all over Luca Cadalora now. He knows he's got to get past. That's Alex Criville, urged on by this massive crowd, going to get away at the front. But Cadalora is a very, very difficult man to overtake. He couldn't be closer there. Look at this battle here. That's a Bale.
And they say actually Roberts, who's got through on Barros there. Roberts now has made the move and he's up into 5th.
Good ride by Kenny Roberts Jr., riding for his dad's Marlboro Yamaha team. Behind Barros is Bale, then we just Loris Capirossi at the back of the pack. Doohan's got up into second. Yeah. Mick Doohan has now got past Luca Cadalora, up into second place for the world champion. Cadalora fights back.
Oh, great stuff from Luca Cadalora. Straight back at the Australian. Will he be able to hold it in check, though, down into turn 2? Mick Doohan will fight back, and he pushes so hard. They touch. They came together then. And that will just help Criville at the front. They did touch, though, into turn 2. as Roberts. There's the chasing group, and there you can see Puig, of course, last year's race winner here in the Spanish Grand Prix. His only Grand Prix victory to date. Let's have a look at this one more time between Cadalora and Doohan.
This is up at turn 1. It's a difficult corner. It's an uphill right-hander. Cadalora gets in very, very hard on the brakes. There's really nowhere for Mick Doohan to go. Thinks about trying to get back up the inside. I think they actually touch.
Let's have a look into turn 2. Look how hard Doohan's pushing it, and yeah, look at that. They did definitely. Well, it was almost Cadalora's knee on Doohan's front tyre, but now Doohan has made it stick as they come down towards the stadium section through that fast left and into Nieto and Pelucchi. Here's the left-hander, and then the double apex right. Doohan's having to ride it so tight to keep Cadalora at bay, but he knows he needed to get through to put the pressure on Criville at the front because they were losing touch with the Spaniard.
Yeah, and of course, while this has been going on, Alex Criville's got his head down at the front and really opened up a fair old gap. That is the gap. There is Criville. Ducata's left-hander that brings it back into the start and finish. Cadalora thinks about trying to get up the inside of Mick Doohan. Will there be fun and games up at turn 1 as there was on the last lap? We're about to find out. Criville crosses the line now. 19 laps to go. 18 to go now, sorry, as they cross the line. Here comes Cadalora once again on the brakes. This time ducks in behind Mick Doohan. Carter just watches from 4th place. Kenny Roberts Jr. having a really good ride in 5th.
And Puig really closing down that group as well. Doing very well after a shocking first lap. And it's good to see him back in form on board now with Luca Cadalora. Just in behind Mick Doohan. He's got Tadej Carter right on his tail. So he's sandwiched between the Repso Honda bikes. It's Repso Honda 1, 2 and 4 at the moment. And Cadalora just tucked in 3rd behind. Great onboard shots these with the Italian over the top out of Sito Pons. So look at this, they plunge down the back straight.
They're down the back straight, fastest part of the circuit, about 190 miles an hour on the brakes, down into 2nd gear. Criville, Doohan, Cadalora, Okada.
And there's Kenny Roberts Jr. doing very, very well indeed, riding for his father's team. And he is in 5th position at the moment. Just in behind him, it's Barros. And you could see as well Bale trying to get through on the Brazilian. Into the stadium section one more time. Nieto and Pelucchi corners. Still Criville leads. Cadalora now is more worried, I think, about Okada behind and the pressure from the Japanese rider. 2 former 250cc stars, of course. Playing their trade in the 500 class now. Cadalora, obviously for a lot longer than Okada, who's a freshman.
There's Mick Doohan chasing his 3rd consecutive world title, but a long, long way to go. Criville leads the way, back up the start and finish straight. 17 laps to go. Mick Doohan just getting away a little bit now from Luca Cadalora, trying to close down Criville. That's the first 4 then. Kenny Roberts Jr. a bit lonely in 5th place. Loris Capirossi still in 6th. There's Kenny Roberts actually. Capirossi just in sight now in 6th spot.
It's a great racetrack here at Jerez. On board now with Cadalora, you get a much better view of it. There's around turn 4 up towards the Sito Pons corner, this right-hander. And just look how it starts to go up the hill. Round the corner, just drift away from the curb, hit it again on exit. Then they go over crest and plunge down towards Drysack, down the back straight. But still it's Criville leading. Oh, and look at how hard he's pushing on the brakes.
Carter did well to catch the leading foursome, but now just having, settling into 4th place, not really made any sort of move. Cadalora just dropping off the pace a bit from Mick Doohan as he starts to close on Alex Criville. This could be a battle royal between the 2 Repsol Hondas in front of their home crowd and certainly Criville's home crowd. That won't worry Mick Doohan in the slightest.
And look at the fans on their feet. They are loving this race so far, mainly because this man is in the lead. And just look at him pushing it so hard down in towards the tight right of Drysack corner. And look at Doohan, he really has the bit between his teeth now, wants to close down on his teammate, and he'll just stalk him like you've seen him do on many occasions in the past to someone when he's behind. He won't take too many risks, he'll just watch and wait for exactly the right moment when he can make the move and make it stick. You can see Okada briefly got through on Cadalora, but Cadalora regains 3rd spot across the line.
Yeah, very quick sneak through turn one, but Mick Doohan now really closing on Criville at the front. Cadalora's a really difficult man to overtake, as Okada found out and will find out in the next few laps. But he's closing all the time. Cadalora will make life difficult for him. And there's no doubt that Doohan now closing on Criville at the front. Here he comes, Okada up the inside of Cadalora. Can he make it stick? He can. Repso Honda, but 1, 2, 3.
I'd watch out just down the bottom here. We know how strong Cadalora is. He doesn't even use the slipstream. It's going to be Criville leading into there, Doohan in second. But look at this, Cadalora is through, as we might have expected. He goes back through at the dry sack corner. That one's going to go on for a while. They've got a great race set up here between the battle for first and the battle for third.
This is the battle for third place. Luca Cadalora currently on the podium, but still 15 and a half laps to go. At the front, Doohan closing up all the time. Okada closes on Cadalora once again. We ride with Luca Cadalora. There is Okada just in front of him.
You can see that was the move from Okada that stuck, but then you could see Cadalora did make it back in front of him at dry sack. It's through the fast right-hander Ferrari and heading down towards the Cardos, the final corner on the circuit. Pushing hard on the brakes every single time, but Criville's looking strong. Doohan's got his work cut out here, I think. Could we have a Spanish winner yet again after last season's glorious victory for Alberto Puig in the Spanish Grand Prix?
15 laps to go. Kenny Roberts crosses the line, closely followed now by Loris Capirossi. Yep. Here is Luca Cadalora still in third. Great race between him and Okada. I think Okada thought he'd got through. Cadalora fall back immediately.
Just behind Capirossi, Alberto Puig. He's made up a couple of positions. He's now ahead of Jean-Michel Bale. So Puig up into 7th position. He loves this circuit. Loves performing in front of his home fans. He's doing very well as well.
Up over the top, down towards dry sack. Can he get close enough, Okada, to Luca Cadalora? Cadalora is very, very fast through here. Criville Doohan. Cadalora back in front of Okada. Well, sorry, stays in front of Okada. That's going to swap the complete race. Criville's doing very well at the front. Mick Doohan's close, but he's still not within striking distance, although we're not even at half distance yet.
Yeah, it'll take his time. Just gradually eat away at that lead of Alex Criville. But Criville's riding a very good race at the moment, keeping Doohan honest and just making him have to push. See, Okada's just dropped off slightly from Cadalora there, just starting to drop back. You can just hear the fireworks in the background as well. They love their motorcycle racing.
I wondered what that was.
Yeah, so did I. I thought, all going off here, but yeah, the fireworks and the spectacle of this race. You can hear every single corner. The fans are on their feet, cheering them along down this home straight as well in the stand, just to the right of the riders as they come down. And on top, you can see on top of the pit lane buildings as well. They love their motorcycle racing in this part of the world. And they love watching a Spaniard in the lead. There you can see Roberts crosses. And there is Alberto Puig, we were saying, up into 7th spot.
This is the helicopter shot. There's Criville leading the way. Top end of the circuit. Around this very fast series of right then lefts. It's a little short straight before they come up towards the Zito Ponds corner into that back straight. Cadalora and Okada just dropping a little bit. It's just settled down a little bit now, isn't it? The whole race, which often happens at this sort of stage.
Yeah, and this is quite a long corner, Zito Ponds. And again, there are a few elevation changes at this track. This is Roberts Jr. and there is Capirossi. And here's Alberto Puig as well. Having a very good event, just gradually making his way through. Determined rider, Alberto Puig.
Yeah, terrible crash at Le Mans in France last year during a qualifying for French Grand Prix. Won the race here last year.
Yeah, it's good to see him back here, of course. Had a fairly decent start to the season. This is the battle for third, or the battle at the front anyway. Cadalora in 3rd position, in 4th. You could just see Tadej Okada, but dropping off ever so slightly now. And Cadalora's not losing touch, is he, with the lead guys too much?
Certainly isn't. Here's Kenny Roberts Jr., son of the 3 times 500cc world champion, Kenny Sr., who's run such a successful team with the likes of Wayne Rainey and Eddie Lawson. But we ride with Luca Cadalora. It's the two Hondas in front of him, Mick Doohan and Alex Criville. He's done well, Cadalora. He's fought off the challenge of Okada. Can he get near these two at the front? That's not going to be easy.
He'll keep pushing. Something you can guarantee about Luca Cadalora. He'll never give up. There's Criville number 4. Doohan number 1. Reigning world champion. Already this season, he's not been the only rider to have won a race. Of course, he won in Indonesia. Cadalora won the opener in Malaysia. Abe won last time out in Japan. So it really is mixed about. Very, very tight at the top. Doohan leads, but it is tight between those top riders. As we say, Barros had such a good start with 2 second places in the 2 openers as well. Scott Russell started well. Again, repeat, he's not out here today.
And Doohan now really closing on Alex Criville, right behind him. 12 and a half laps to go into the Nieto corner. This is double apex right. Look at the crowd, absolutely on their feet. Doohan's lining him up. Around the fast series of right-handers at the back of the pits. Will he have a go when they come into the Ducatus left-hander? The tight one into the start finish. He's not close enough. In fact, Criville pulled away through those fast right-handers.
Pushing hard. And Cadalora will have his work cut out if he wants to get involved in this battle. The 2 factory Hondas at the front are pushing their NSR 500 so much. The absolute limit. Criville for home pride. Doohan to consolidate the lead in the World Championship. Of course, there's 4 Hondas leading the way, all in all.
Cadalora's doing well in 3rd place. He really is closing up on the 2 Hondas. This is a good battle. Slowly but surely, Capirossi is closing on Kenny Roberts Jr. 11 and a half laps to go. Criville really has done all the donkey work at the front. And Mick Doohan has gradually reeled him in, but he's not close enough this time round. This is where Doohan's really quick through here. Up into the Angel Nieto corner. This is the right. And then Criville seems to get away through this series of very fast right-handers after this double apex right before they line up for the Ducatus left-hander, the very tight left that brings it back in the start finish. Can Doohan get any closer this time round?
Now, this is a battle for 5th. There's the 2 Roberts Yamahas. One of them's Roberts Jr., one of them's Capirossi. In fact, sorry, Capirossi's on the Rainy Yamaha, isn't he? Roberts is on the Roberts Yamaha. It does confuse me, that. every single time they're out on track.
Over the start finish line, 11 laps to go. This 4th round of the 500cc World Championship, living up to all expectations. BT out. Abe out. Both have crashed out of the race. But it's the Hondas that lead the way. Okada being dropped a little bit now in 4th place.
Yeah, I think Cadalora's broken him. And look, Cadalora is closing down on the leaders all the time. And Criville is not making it easy for Doohan to pass. You see how close Doohan got coming down the straight. But all the while, Cadalora's getting closer. And that's where Cadalora's strongest, isn't it? On that back straight and down into that tight right-hander at dry sack.
Oh, Doohan very, very close then into the Nieto corner. We ride with Cadalora. Great on-board stuff. It's the 2 Hondas in front of him. That's Mick Doohan and Alex Criville, the 2 race leaders, 1 and 2. Cadalora running in 3rd place. And this series now right-handers, the Ferrari corner. Is Doohan close enough this time round? No.
Oh, it's getting ever so tight now at the front. And Cadalora's there. Cadalora is involved, and it's a 3-way battle for victory in the Spanish Grand Prix. And they cross the line now, 10 laps remaining. This is a brilliant Grand Prix. It's not been all about the overtaking, has it? It's just been about the interest, the intrigue. What will happen? Spanish rider leading the way. Will Doohan pounce? Can he pounce?
We ride with Cadalora once again. This is the very fast right. There's a left going to come up. No, they're on time. I apologise. They're on the back straight now. Dry sack Doohan going up the inside of Alex Criville. He's not close enough. Thought about it, and Cadalora really closes up on the brakes around the dry sack.
He's so strong in that area. Luca Cadalora out of dry sack corner now into this fast left-hander. 3rd gear. They stay in 3rd, come in towards the stadium section, as we call it. a left-hander, and then it's the Nieto Pelucchi double right-hand complex. But it's so tight, you could throw a blanket over them now.
He could.
It is anything to choose between them. And look at the fans, they're loving it, on their feet as they come round. We're just about at third race distance now. 27 lap race, and when they cross the line, there'll be 9 to go. 2/3 down, but the most important third remaining.
Through Ducados into the start and finish straight. I don't think anybody's quite close enough to have a challenge up at turn 1, but Cadalora is very, very good up the hill at turn 1. Okada really has been dropped now. Mick Doohan really makes sure that Cadalora doesn't get up the inside of him as they break from turn 1.
You have to say, Doohan hasn't been able to do much about Criville's lead, has he? Hasn't been able to show the wheel too much. I think Criville is riding superbly.
Yeah, quite difficult for Mick Doohan now. He's got a man behind him really pushing him hard, and he wants to push on himself, try and catch the man in front. 9 laps to go. If it's as good as the opening part of the race, it will be fantastic. Yeah, Okada dropped by the leading trio now. They'll just fight to hang on to 4th place, one would imagine. On the back straight once again, is Doohan close enough? Very, very late on the brakes. Alex Criville, Cadalora closes up. Here is Okada in 4th place.
Yeah, quite a lonely ride now for the Japanese rider. Now, Cabarossi's through on Roberts Jr., so it's Rainey beating Roberts in the Marlboro Yamaha Stakes. And there, look at Alberto Puig. He's closing in, isn't he, on those two? Having a very good race, the Spaniard, and they'll love this one equally.
They certainly will, after that big crash last year. Of course, he won the race here last year. That was before the big crash at Le Mans. Great ride by him.
That was Okada in 4th spot. He can't do anything about this leading trio, though. And it's no surprise, because they are riding their lives out here, aren't they? It is heart on sleeves moment, and they are pushing to the absolute limit, down into Ducados. They just stay in line, because Criville is pushing as deep as he can, as is Doohan, as is Cadalora. And this has got final lap written all over it.
It has. The Ducados corner on the final lap is already preparing itself for the onslaught.
It might not even happen there. It could be at dry sack.
Yeah, it could
That's
be.
where Cadalora's strong.
It's a great ride by Cadalora, because I thought he'd been dropped by these leading two. And Okada actually got past him a couple of times, didn't he? Dropped into 4th, but he's right back in contention once again.
Well, I'm surprised Doohan hasn't taken on Criville at all, especially with Cadalora closing on him. You'd half expect him to try and make the move, wouldn't you, and go past. But he hasn't been able to do so. Just testament to how well Criville's been riding here.
Onto the back straight they come. 7.5 laps to go. Doohan is really close this time round. Is Doohan going to have a go? Here comes Alex Criville. Is he coming up the inside, number 1? No, he's not. He won't let him through. He's a demon on the brakes.
He's pushing to the absolute limit in every single corner. It's got to be having an effect on his tyres, but who cares? He's still leading the way. The fans won't mind one bit. He's giving it every ounce of himself. Cadalora has just had a bit of a moment, hasn't he? And with Doohan starting to put some pressure on Criville and the pace hotting up at the front, Cadalora just can't quite keep tabs.
Where's Doohan going to try and take him?
I think you're right. Final quarter or dry sack, but Criville looks far too strong in there to me.
Yeah.
I think it'd have to be something a bit, maybe turns 1 or 2.
He's very quick through here, doesn't he? The Ferrari right-hander, and Doohan's got to be a little bit closer. Perhaps he's closing up this time round. Here comes Doohan. Is he going to come out of the slipstream on the brakes? He is. Doohan tries to get up the inside. Not able to do so.
Yet again, on the hard braking zone, you have to say, there's those tighter hairpins, dry sack and Ducados. Criville's stronger now. I wonder if up at turn 1, if he could try and fashion something. Cadalora's tried it there a couple of times. Having a look back to 4th position. No, that's Okada just going through on a back marker now.
And here is Loris Capirossi. It's Alberto Puig sandwiched between them. Kenny Roberts Jr. You say Puig having a fine ride, won the race here last year, and then that big crash at Le Mans in France, gradually finding his way back to full fitness. But really, all eyes now feature on this race at the front. 6.5 laps to go. Very, very difficult to pick a winner at the moment. Alex Criville's virtually led from start to finish. Doohan's hustled and harried him, never got close enough to pass him. Luca Cadalora really have to ride very, very hard indeed now to stay with the 2 leaders.
And he's having a look in every single corner, Doohan, but there is no way through on Criville. He's having a superb race, the Spaniard. And I wouldn't like to call this one at the moment because I can just see that Criville is riding out of his skin.
Certainly is. It's usually the other way around. Criville is usually quite happy to follow Mick Doohan, isn't he? This time it's the opposite. Has somebody got a few cards up their sleeve? Is everybody riding absolutely flat out? We're going to find out in the next 6.5 laps. We ride with Luca Cadalora.
Of course, Criville taken 2 victories in his career before. Assen, 92, and last round of last year in his home race in Barcelona, remember, the European Grand Prix.
This would really please the Spanish fans.
This would be massive, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Barcelona then winning in Jerez. 6 laps to go. It's not going to change at the front just for a moment.
Criville was second last time out in Japan as well, behind Norik Arbe.
Just to remind you, BT and Arbe in separate incidents both crashed out.
BT twice by the looks of things.
Yeah. Well, he ran it wide,
once he ran it off, didn't he?
That's right.
I wonder if it was a mechanical problem for him because the bike was on fire, wasn't it? Or if that came from the crash. And we'll see which came first, chicken or eggs moment, wasn't it? Up towards Sito Pons, the long right-hander that will bring him onto the back straight. 5.5 laps remaining. Still, Criville leads from Doohan. Doohan will not get through. He's not close enough at the moment. It'd have to be a kamikaze manoeuvre, wouldn't it, to get through there. And Criville looks really comfortable. It's clear he's pushing hard, but you can see Doohan starting to just think, what am I going to be able to do here?
Yeah, I don't think Doohan's sandbagging, do you?
Oh, no.
I think he's trying very hard to get past him and just not able to do so at the moment. You never quite know with Mick Doohan.
You don't, and he can always think, right, I'll leave it till the very last. And I wouldn't be surprised at that either. But I've just seen how strong Criville looks on the brakes.
Look at that crowd on the hillside. To a man and a woman, they are cheering on that man at the front, Alex Criville. Through the first section of the very fast rights. Ferrari curve coming up now. Doohan's got to get closer if he's going to try and get up the inside of him to the final turn into the start finish straight. I don't think he's close enough this time round, no. And that's what he's thinking about, surely. And then on the gas as they come out of the left, up this hill, up towards this difficult right-handed turn 1 at the top of the hill. 5 laps to go.
Still Criville from Doohan. Doohan not able to show anything of his hand at the moment. And I'm racking my brains to think where he's going to invent something from. Cadalora's even back involved in this battle. And I think more than anything, it's not necessarily that Doohan hasn't got the pace to get past Criville. I just think Criville's riding so well. He might be that little bit slower, but he's just managing to hold Doohan at bay. And Cadalora keeps able to coming back into this. He keeps pressurising from behind.
Well, this is where Doohan's good, not particularly through the dry track. Of course, he's good, but he doesn't seem to get past Alex Criville here. It's the right and left after that he's pulled alongside Alex Criville a couple of times. Now, will he do it again?
Yeah, and see different lines there. Criville really attacked that corner at a tight angle, and Doohan took a wider line, but just got the drive out of the corner a little bit more.
Little short straight, and then they come into the Underheld Lieto double apex ride in front of the mass fans. Doohan's nice and close this time around, but Alex Criville from now on up towards the Ducatus corner is very, very fast through here.
And we have seen Doohan get close, haven't we, in the final corner? I just wonder, can he make an attack there? Criville to me just looks stronger in the hard braking areas. Today, I like today. Here we come, down into Ducados. Is there anything this time? No. Doohan just has to sit in behind, and you'll start seeing the tyres slipping and sliding now. On the pit wall, they hold out the boards. There's not got long to see them coming out of that final corner.
4 laps to go up at turn 1. Somebody's got to make a move soon. Doohan surely will make a move. Is Luca Cadalora close enough to make a move on the 2 Repsol men at the front? Is Doohan sandbagging? Can Doohan get past? I don't think he is.
I don't think he would. I don't think he'd risk it this much. 3.5 laps remaining. Surely he'd have wanted to hit the front by now, but he hasn't been able to.
Brilliant race. Glorious weather. Massive crowd. This is what 500cc Grand Prix racing is all about.
And you can hear the fans in every single corner cheering along, just desperate to have their man win at the front. It would be a great, great victory if he did so ahead of the reigning world champion, Mick Doohan.
Into dry sack. Now this is where Doohan's quick. I think Criville knows that. Makes it very, very difficult for the world champion. Here they come, they're getting up amongst the back markers.
Listen to the fans here.
Listen to those fans.
They are going. It's like a football match. It's incredible atmosphere. All on their feet, all cheering every single lap. They know the laps are ticking down and Doohan has to do something soon. And again, Doohan's having his own tyre problems. You can just see that bike under braking, and when opening the throttle, just wobbling about that little bit extra.
Now they're going to hit some back markers soon. I wonder when that's exactly going to be. That could be a very, very big part in the race. If Criville could get some between him and Mick Doohan, it'll be a big advantage. But if there's any dilly-dallying, Doohan could make a move. Let's wait and see. They're not there yet, but they are coming up.
Yeah, we saw them, didn't we, at the top of the screen? So we'll have to keep a close eye on that one.
Carter 4, Capirossi 5, Kenny Roberts Jr. in 6th, and I think Alberto Puig's probably still in 7th place.
Yeah, just must be tucked in right in behind them. But he's ridden a good race as well.
Difficult one to call. I'm really not sure, are you, with 2.5 laps to go?
I've learnt over the last couple of years, don't rule out Doohan.
No, dead right.
But in this form, Alex Criville looks imperious.
He's made life very, very difficult for Mick Doohan. Here they are, down the back straight. 2.5 laps ago, down towards dry sack. Criville very late on the brakes again. There's no way they're through for Mick Doohan. Now they are getting amongst the back markers. This could be interesting. Doohan poised to pull out the pin.
And he'll be ready to pounce on any mistake as well. Listen to them. They're just saying, they're cheering on Criville. Listen to the fans. It's incredible.
This could be crucial.
I hope those blue flags are being put out for the back markers. You can see they are still battling in there. Now, is this going to affect them? No, they've sat up really well out of that corner. So, first hurdle overcome from the lead duo. Cadalora's dropped off it. It's going to be a head-to-head two-way battle for the victory in the Spanish Grand Prix.
Doohan. I think he's going to make a move this time round, does he? No, but this is as close as he's been, isn't it? Be 2 laps to go when he crosses the line. Is he rehearsing a last bend, last lap manoeuvre?
I think he's thinking about it, isn't he? He certainly looks like he considered if that's an option. We'll only know until the final lap if he's discarded it or not. So, just under 2 laps remaining in the Spanish Grand Prix here at Jerez de la Frontera.
Cadalora, I think, probably out of this one.
That's what I reckon. Look at Doohan now. He gets around. He's trying to find a different line, isn't he? He knows he has to do something soon. He's went for the outside now as they power up towards Sito Pons corner. There's nothing he can do. Up and over the rise they'll go, and down the back straight. Is he trying to line up a manoeuvre into dry sack?
We're about to find out a little bit of a wobble there for Mick Doohan. Probably cost him dear. Probably meant he couldn't close up the way he wanted to.
Now they go and head towards the stadium section. It's Criville from Doohan. Just 1.5 laps remaining now, and the fans are going wild. Look at them. They all stood by the barriers as well, waving anything Spanish they can see. Look at them on their feet. My God, there'll be a track invasion here. There's people already on the track. This is incredible stuff. Doesn't help the riders at all, does it?
It's going to go down to the last lap. And you've got to say, Alex Criville now is absolutely pouring on the pace. Is there anything the world champion can do?
Well, I'm not sure, because he was just not even close enough to make a move this time. So, 1 more lap remaining, and there you can see they're willing them on in the Repso Honda pit wall. Down into turn 1, or up into turn 1, should I say. And look at the fans, they've all made their way. They're all ready to run on the track already. It's Criville leading, just under a lap to go. Can he win the Spanish Grand Prix and add it to his victory in the Grand Prix, the European Grand Prix at Barcelona at the end of last season?
This is a superb ride by Alex Criville. Absolutely brilliant.
And look at the gap. I can't see where Doohan can do it. He's just not close enough at the moment. There's got to be a mistake. That's the only thing that's going to let Doohan through at the moment. up and over Sito Pons corner and down the back straight they go for the final time.
Half a lap to go, round 4 of the 500cc World Championship. A brilliant race. Mick Doohan on the brakes, no way through. Criville goes in deep and then really blocks the path. Any thought of Doohan had thought of getting up the inside has gone. Half a lap to go.
And
this is the race for Alex Criville to lose.
Definitely, Doohan has to pull something out of the bag in these final few corners now. Round the left-hander, and look at the fans have already made it onto the track. This is really dangerous, but look at Doohan sliding in the rear, coming around, and look, there are fans on the track already. This is incredible, since I've never seen anything like this in my life. Incredible, they're on the track, the fans, and that's not helping Criville at all.
Here they come, we're about to find out. This is the fast right-hander, Doohan as close as he's been. Doohan closing up all the time.
Through the fast
second part now, they come up to the final bend.
Down into the Cardos for the final time. Can Doohan make a dive free? He's going to. Here comes Mick Doohan. They're going to go to the final corner. They touch going in there on board with Criville. Oh, Criville's gone down.
Alex Criville crosses out on the very last bend. Mick Doohan wins the Spanish Grand Prix here at Jerez. What a race, what an ending. Luca Cadalora third.
Incredible scenes here with fans on the track. Alex Criville goes down in the final corner. He looks set to win his home Grand Prix. Tadej Carter will finish on the podium. Capirossi involved, but where is Criville? He's down in the gravel. Let's hope he's okay. Puig will be the best finishing Spanish rider in 5th place ahead of Roberts Jr. And he's going to have something to say about that.
He's got the walk.
It will be a little bit frosty in Repso Honda tonight. There's Criville, he's furious. And how did the fans get on the track? That really wasn't safe, was it? This was the move from Doohan, and Doohan just put the bike there. He'd only been close enough because Criville had to sit up because of the fans, but Criville is obviously just going to try and get on the throttle. Yeah, you can see he just tries far too hard.
That's a mistake by him, nothing to do with Doohan. Doohan did exactly the right thing.
He did the right thing. I'm not sure whether they touched or not. I think there was a slight bit of contact, but Criville there, the front starts to get away from him, and as he tries to correct it by getting the drive out the corner, he loses the bike and he goes down, and he just has to watch. And the fans really, they'll think that Criville's won it, but they won't see him. It's Doohan who's going to win the day. And if I were Mick Doohan, I'd get out there sharpish.
I would as well.
They won't be too happy when they see what's happened. And it's really a little bit dangerous, isn't it, this?
Yeah, very dangerous indeed. In fact, the fans were on the track before the race had finished. Here we go.
Let's have a look.
Did they touch?
They come in between, and Doohan's there. And, well, they do touch, don't they? But, well, it got very tight in that. And you can see Criville now trying to correct it by getting the drive out the corner. And that's just desperation, wasn't it, to win his own Grand Prix. The fans have played their own part. Listen to the boos you can hear ringing out, but they've played their part in it, haven't they?
They certainly have. No, I don't think you can blame Mick Doohan. My God, he was patient, wasn't he? I really thought Criville was going to win that race.
I don't think he would have without the fans on the track.
No,
there.
You think that put Criville off?
Well, that's where Doohan made up the gap. Yeah. And here the fans who were on the track, they're booing, but they've played their own part in this one. There'll be a few remonstrations among the teammates about what happened in that final corner. But Mick Doohan will celebrate victory on board with Criville now. And Doohan just had the bike in the way.
Yeah, he did.
Criville, maybe if he'd have been able to round off the corner, could have had the drive. But they both wanted the same piece of tarmac.
And I think Doohan got in there first to that part of tarmac. But yeah, the fans certainly didn't help Alex Criville in any way at all.
Said they would have throughout the entire race.
Yeah.
Until that final lap. And their mechanics just putting the covers on the bike, but a sorry end to the race for Alex Criville. He should have won his home Grand Prix, but it's Mick Doohan who takes the glory.
Luca Cadalora second, Okada third, Capirossi, Alberto Puig, Kenny Roberts Jr., Jean-Michel Bale, Alex Barros and Shinichi Ito in 8th place. So
Mick Doohan takes the top step. Mixed reception really from the Spanish fans, but look, he's milking it. Even if it's not the greatest reception, he's enjoying it on the top step. He extends his lead in the championship. Luca Cadalora and Tadej Carter on the podium. They're chanting Criville's name as well. Well, I just wonder. They'll take a good look at that afterwards, but Doohan put the bike there, didn't he?
He certainly did. His second win of the season for the current world champion. One of the great races for a long, long time. Mick Doohan on the top step here at Jerez.
Alongside him, getting the award from Mr. Zerbi. That's Luca Cadalora.
Great ride by Cadalora, wasn't it?
Was. He was there or thereabouts till the very end. Shake of the hands. So all Honda podium, but it looked as though it was going to be a Repso Honda 1-2. Instead it's a 1-3. And it's Okada, not Criville.
Probably a bit surprised to be on the podium. Settled for 4th place, hadn't he? And I think it's Jerry Burgess that's going to receive the Repsol Honda award, the award for the winning team. So Australia rules once again here in Spain.
Yeah, and it's time for the Australian national anthem. I wonder what reception this will get. Still chanting Criville's name, aren't they? Incredible. Well, Mick Doohan does get some applause, but it's all amidst the boos. Real drama in the final lap and the final corner of the Spanish Grand Prix, and Mick Doohan takes victory and extends his lead in the World Championship. What a day it has been for the world champion.